Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping, $, usual 50/50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20, with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $, usual 50/50. Tickets are on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshit on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Push the weight and flex. Flex alive is one in the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the.
You say before you retire you want to fight Devin and Shakur. Is that still the plan?
I never said that. When I said that? I never said that. But I would for sure. But I never said before I retire I want to fight them too. I never said that. You said
new deal, 7-fight deal, which is music to the ears of many boxing fans. Get to see you in action for several more years. What type of names are we talking about in those 7 names?
whoever you name, they could be in it.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Oh, it's time to bleed this morning, especially since we got that news yesterday. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let's do this roll call real quick. This is hilarious. Dirt Gang Boss, G. McCall, Michael Fleming, Ratchet since 91. Mr. Shelton in the mother effing building. Salute. Dal Anderson, Shaquilla Field, salute, Queen. Tay, good morning. Copper, what's going on? HC Boxing, Todd Swindle, Louis Hinton. Shotland, what's good, man? Nada 86 early. That super chat, much love. He said, salute, Drew, and salute to the mighty LDBC, man. Salute to you, good brother. Appreciate you. Trey, what up? Rod Neal. Black Jericho. Kawhi Elliott. Wait, hold on a minute. Give me one. All right. One second, yeah. There you go. Dale Spooley. Darnell Schaefer. But this is what I heard, brother. Darnell, this is what I heard. So, you know, we're gonna talk about it. This is what I heard, bro. This is what I heard. So I'm gonna have fun with it this morning. Jarrell Freeman, the Sensei, Stormy B-Man in the building. Salute. Stephen X, Jalen Hudson, Rod Neal, Tony C in the building. What up? Yes, sir. All right, hold on. I'll take care of my other brother here. I'm gonna trim up on both my channels. Jason Bourne, salute, man. Blessed morning. Everyone woke up this morning. So let's talk some boxing and some potential shenanigans. I appreciate you, Jason. So let's talk about it. Okay, so we got an announcement yesterday. And thank you guys for rocking with me yesterday at the presser. It was nice. Perfect Black, salute. It was real nice. I'm getting a lot of, okay to come cover these fights when they're in my city. I appreciate that. Perfect Black, salute. MJ Total Health, what up? Salute to Pat Poose and the GWOAT. Me and Thomas was sitting down, right? And at first, I don't know if y'all can hear it, there was some children like directly behind me, right? They were directly behind me. And I'm like, who are these kids, man? And I hear the little boy say, I can't see daddy. And I look, and it was so obvious that was Edgar Berlanga's son. It was so, because the little boy looked just like him. It was so obvious. I said, look at little boy. So somebody came and got them and brought them closer to the stage. It was two little boys, right? So then 2 more people come and they sit behind me and Thomas. And when Shakur was talking, Shorty started clapping. She's like, yeah, get him. I said, that sounds like Clarissa Shields. And I look over my left shoulder. I saw Pat and Clarissa. They were sitting directly behind us. Shamar, what up? I said, oh shit. So I tapped Thomas and said, look over your left. Look who's behind us. He was like, oh snap, that was funny. And I got a little interview with Pat, asked him, how long he been in boxing and stuff, So that was a great experience, man. That was a great experience. And I do that for y'all. Regardless of how I feel about the fighter, whether the fighter has done something dirty, drug cheat or whatever. The only person, if that was a Teofimo Lopez and he was a main event and the undercard was subpar, not even gonna hold you, I wouldn't even go. Let's say there's a George Kambosos rematch with Teofimo and he's the main event and the undercard is subpar. Not even gonna hold you, I'm not going. As a matter of fact, when I had Ryan on video, right, that was in support of the entire card, not just him. If he was headlining and the undercard was subpar, I wouldn't go because I don't support him like that. You know what I'm saying? Shakur says some strange and fugazi stuff. He's hot and he's cold, but I hold his feet to the flames. Hold his ass accountable. Like, he's supporting Ryan, rooting for him against Rolly. I'm like, that's strange. But if y'all follow Aki, something happened yesterday that I didn't know. All right, that pillow biting Mike Cappinger was there. He did a one-on-one interview with him, and Shakur gave him the business. I don't know if y'all saw it. Salute to Aki TV. It's up on this video. It's up on this channel. Y'all go see it at your own leisure. I didn't know that. So Shakur needs some proper guidance. He needs to monitor what he does. But I'm going to hold him accountable like I hold Derrick James accountable. So there it is. For those that are trying to make a mountain out of a goddamn molehill. My stalker's watching right now. I don't have to explain shit to anybody. I don't have to explain a motherfucking thing to anybody. I'll do this for my audience. And I'm getting great experience in the process. If I have a question, like I had one question for Eddie Hearn, he was already talking about it, but I had to reiterate it for my audience. So I had to ask the question loud and clear so my audience can hear it. And y'all heard me ask him, yo, do you think Teofimo Lopez is just crazy? There's obviously something wrong with him. So, with that being said, speaking of crazy, I don't know exactly what's going on with this situation, but and I appreciate you guys, Black Jericho. I appreciate you guys, because while I'm out here putting in work, getting y'all content, there seems to be weirdos still stalking me for three goddamn years. Stalking me and stalking me and stalking me. Always got something to say. But you know what? I'm going to stop saying get off my Disney. Stay on my Disney. Because every view you give me nets me dividends. So stay your ass right there. Stay right there. Because when I'm talking boxing, you're infatuated with me. Xavier, what up? I meant to call you back. I just got too flustered yesterday. I had a lot going on. My bad. You think I forgot, dogs? And then I'm not talking about Xavier, my stalker. You think I forgot? You was on another panel bringing up my name. And the person that was holding the panel didn't even know who the hell I was. He was like, who are you talking about? But luckily, I had family on that panel. Salute to Southern T. Didn't know that. And my other homegirl, who will remain nameless, but she's the one that called me on the phone. Was like, you need to watch that dude. You need to get a restraining order. I was like, what? He's like, yo, we talking boxing. He coming here talking about your shoulders. Oh, he thinks he's all that because he's tall with those big shoulders. I was like, whoa. What? Wait a minute. What? He did what? And sent me the link. I have it somewhere. And I heard it. I was like, what is he on there talking about my shoulders for? Condo, my brother, what up? I rock in the building. I was like, what is wrong? Like, yo, who brings that up? I'm used to people, F Drew, he don't know what he talking about, and blah, blah, blah. No, this dude really made reference to a physical attribute of mine. I went back and heard it. I said, he didn't say that. You exaggerate. And I went and I heard it. And 3 years later, he's still firing shots. Shows up in my live stream yesterday, and I'm like, what is this? And by the way, great job, YouTube. Because I blocked the nonsense out of him. Why is he allowed to still show up on my stream? Y'all have to explain that. Further proof that YouTube, they enable the nonsense. But of course, he shows up yesterday. And, hey. Dude, go rent a porn and get a diesel black guy that you could look at so you could rub yourself out. I ain't got nothing to do with it. We're talking boxing over here. You're talking about me. We're talking boxing over here. You're talking about me. One more time. We're talking boxing over here. You're talking about what? Me. Tonight, Painful Excellence Podcast. I will be talking about this Diddy and Cassie and her husband situation. Ladies, your past matters. Everything that y'all been arguing about over the internet, the simplest things. Full-blown patterns of women talking about, hey, why my past matter? It matters. Now you see. Cassie left that situation with $20 million in her bank account, and she was still brought to court to testify because the state wants to bring up a case against Diddy, and they know she was knee deep into that nonsense. And now she has to sit on a bit. She has to stand trial and explain what she went through while her husband is in the goddamn court. And word on the street is yesterday he couldn't take it. He got up and walked out. Did she go home? Can you imagine what that conversation was like? Do you think he knew exactly what was going on? Possibly. He could be a cuck. I don't know. But we'll talk about that tonight. You see, this is what I'm doing. While motherfuckers is paying attention to me. Listen, nothing's changing. I'm not changing. I'm out here putting in work. I'm out here getting credentials when I can. I'm out here getting content for my audience. While you're worried about me. Fucking loser, midget, fraud. Now, don't nobody give a shit about what you got to say. So far, there's 95 people in here. Smash my like button, like and share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to YouTube to do anything for us. Let's do it ourselves. Now, let's talk some boxing, please. Tank, what are you doing? The Audacity Podcast in the building. Salute. Oh yeah, I know. Hey man, I had the camera on him. I wanted to hear the dude from the brother from Fight Hype that I just met yesterday. He was the one asking the questions. You know, I just listened. I didn't have any questions. I just want to hear what Shakur had to say. He don't care about rankings and everything else. All right, cool. No one cares about rankings as long as they're leading the rankings. I've never heard anybody, and y'all could, if y'all heard it, y'all let me know. I've never heard anybody who is like leading the rankings say that they didn't care about it. I never heard it. Freedom's marching that super chat. Salute. Much love and appreciation. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. And salute to everybody in the chat. If I missed you, I love you. Mind the Monster Musa, salute. Lamont, what up? So he seemed to me, he seemed kind of like pissed with it. But this is what I'm talking about. The fighters and the fanatics that follow the fighters, they will justify anything that their fighter does. And the danger in not holding a fighter accountable is what we have now. The big danger to the fighters who had no intention of fighting their contemporaries and just basically robbing the bank like Floyd said he did. But Floyd actually got work done. Check the resume, although he was never undisputed. Check the resume, he got work done. But he used a lot of lingo that these new kids that came in his footsteps or tried to follow in his footsteps, he used lingo that they tried to live by, and that's dangerous because they try and live by that lingo and use their fan base as a means to not fight their contemporaries. And here you have Tank Davis. Very celebrated. He is talented. But I told y'all before, my problem was with him, and it still is, that I can't gauge him. Now, this Lamont Roach situation, I could get a gauge on him. Because he couldn't deal with him, man. He couldn't deal with him. Nobody saw that coming, but some people did. And some people are confused. By the time we got to I picked Tank to knock him out in round 5 or 6. I think I said 6. By the time we got to round 3, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I had to think a little bit. I said, okay, he's from 130, but what's going on? Why does he look bigger? Oh, shit. There's no hydration clause. Because I swear to God, I'm almost sure Lamont was about 147 or maybe a heavier in that when the bell rang. He looked big. And what did he tell Andre Ward? Yo, he was too small. I said, oh my God. It makes sense. How do you explain Frank Martin? I spoke to somebody that was in his camp on fight, the weigh-in the day before. When Tank looked in the face and said, you look drained. I heard him say, and I said, whoa. So I made a phone call. Dude was in Vegas. I said, yo, what's going on? He said, yeah, he looked drained, but he should be all right for tomorrow. I was like, oh, shit. So Frank was drained. Okay. There was no tricks going into this fight. The promotion was off. They postponed the fight date. Y'all remember? We was asking what was going on the whole time. But at the end of the day, Tank is a professional. I still picked him to knock Roach out by round 6. Jeff Sparks, salute. HMC, salute. 88 Sports Talk. And I said, what's going on here? And he was in the pocket with Tank, wasn't he? He was there to get hit, right? So what the hell was going on? He had his number, man. Don't take my word for it. I said, man, you know, I want to see the rematch, but you know what? I don't know if Tank does. Tank's fans, I don't know if y'all want this really. Y'all heard what Shakur say? Now, he's a professional. Don't listen to me. He's a pro fighter. Y'all heard what he said yesterday? He said he don't like the rematch for Tank. Y'all heard him say it. I had the camera right in his face. He said, I don't like that match for him. I don't like the rematch for him. Y'all saw what he was trying to do. Enter Jake Paul. Jake Paul was in the locker room. Oh, spiritually biased, yeah. You know, I just ain't smashed the gas on that. Hannibal, salute. Well, I mentioned it. You know, there was Vada, and all of a sudden, you know, his power, you know, ain't there. There was Vada, but, you know. There was Vada, but, you know, who am I, right? Right? G. McCall, salute. There was Vada, and all of a sudden, Lamont's in the pocket. Never hurt in the fight. Putting jabs in this kid's face, making him take a knee. It was so awkward that everyone started arguing what was supposed to happen when he took a knee. I said, when you take a knee, it's called a 10-8 round. I don't know what y'all what is this? Then they had AI on Google lying for Tank. I said, wait. I've been in gyms since the 80s. I think I know what the rules are in boxing. I don't care what the circumstances are. Your glove touches the ground, it's supposed to be a knockdown. That wasn't a slip, that was a decision. He got hit with 2 jabs, he stepped back, took a knee to wipe something out of his eye. And then his corner jumps on the apron, which was another violation. It was supposed to be a 10-8, and then when they got up on the apron, it was supposed to be a DQ. They were very lenient with him. This whole thing has been a shit show. The Brothers UK in the building. Monty Musa says all Tank power went to Greece.
Good night.
Where the hell is Victor? I didn't block him. I didn't. Where's Victor at? Come on, Vic. There was never any beef. I thought, you know, it was a little strange. Victor vanished after this fight. You see what I mean about these Fairweather fans? The brother Darnell Schaefer's here. Listen, you're allowed to like Tank. That's not the problem. My problem with Tank is his moves and his behavior. Let me ask y'all a question. Have you ever heard me say Tank was trash in the ring? You never heard me say that. Oh, Mike S., I threw his punk ass out. He showed up last week and literally showed his ass like the pillow body he is. Light eyes, salute. You know, he's the knuckle dragger of all knuckle draggers. Knuckle dragger of all knuckle draggers. I mean, he got calluses on his knuckles. His palms are the same color as the black hand side of his hands. The Delano says, come on, Drew. Now Tank is roids in a Mayweather camp, a Mayweather band. You lost me, bro. What do you, all right, first of all, okay. I need y'all to read this statement. Because the only thing I understand is you lost me, bro. And yeah, you did lose me. Because I don't understand what you're saying here. Do you got fat thumbs? I mean, seriously, you might have big hands. I don't know. If you can, if y'all typing from your phone, there's something called spell check. Spell check could fuck you up too. But proofread something before you retype that, man. What's going on here? What is that? I'm trying. I'll read it out loud. I'm reading it how it's written. Come on, Drew. Now Tank is roids in a Mayweather camp, a Mayweather band. You lost me, bro. All right. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you 2 minutes. Wee. Godfather.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
Listen, man. What? Michael Fleming, according to Delano, he's my age. That's what he told me. I don't know. I'm not gonna call him a liar. He might be. I don't know what this is. All right, you want me to take a stab at what I think he's trying to say? Okay, I'll take a stab at it. Look, man, Delano might be handicapped, all right? I'm not gonna make fun of him. All right? But it's odd reading something he wrote with the name Mayweather in it, and we all know Mayweather's blessed, but the nigga can't read. But whatever. All right, here he go again. Main biker, salute. Delano says, are saying Tank wasn't on roids in the Roach fight. Oh. Jesus Christ. All right. Delano, are you from Baltimore?
What?
Oh, shit. Wait a minute. No, real shit. Are you from Baltimore? Playboy Place, Luke. Bro, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying real hard. Spiritually biased, say, please say no. I'm not putting all of this on Baltimore. It's just say, Derek Gaines, what up, brother? This is just, listen, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. You're seeing it. Okay, let's just try and dissect what he's saying. You're upset that I'm alleging that Tank is on steroids, okay, because he's in the Mayweather camp. Delano, prove to me he's not. Prove to me he's not. Can you prove to me he's not? Delano, can you prove to me he's not? And I know what you're going to say, and I need you to be very careful. You just need to know that I know what I'm talking about. Because I discussed this already. There's just a lot of coincidences that are a little weird to me. Now, I already said Lamont Roach rehydrated and he turned out to be the bigger guy. I said that. He also has a style that Tank couldn't deal with. But that's strange because the genuine consensus is that stand in the pocket with Tank and get your shit knocked out. All of a sudden, we know that there's body testing for this fight, and Lamont Roach is in the pocket with absolutely no fear, and at no point was Tank knocking anybody out, and the dude came up from 130. Please explain. Now, I'm not saying he's on drugs, but I'm saying that's a weird coincidence. Isn't it? Hey, listen, you brought up the Mayweather. You brought up the Mayweather situation, right? He's in the Mayweather gym, so that means he's not a cheater? Well, here's a fun fact. when he agreed to fight Manny Pacquiao, right? And he agreed to fight Manny Pacquiao. He was really stiff on the drug testing because it's Manny Pacquiao, right? Did y'all know that Floyd Mayweather rehydrated by use of an IV? Did y'all know that? And it's one of those things where I'm looking like, not supposed to do that. And you definitely said Manny can't put any sharp objects near his wrist or his arms, but here you are doing that shit. And I looked around, I said, yo, I ain't gonna say shit. Me being on code. Dion, what up? Me being on code, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, ain't supposed to do that. So Delano, it would do you well not to use, and this, I'm just educating you, brother, not to use Floyd Mayweather as a cornerstone of what's good, clean, and wholesome in boxing, because he got dirt under his fingernails too. Now, am I saying that he cheated? Am I saying that he was on roids? No. I'm saying, why would you tell Manny he can't do it and you turned around and did it? Exactly, G. McCall. Nothing to see here. PGH, what up? Adrian Vest, salute, brother. True Boxer Night, salute. I said, okay, I stayed on code. I said, all right, so what? It's his fault. It took 4 years for this fight to happen. I don't care. But listen, he wasn't supposed to use that shit. Nah, Dion, he didn't. Roach was never in trouble. Never. If he was hurt, he had an excellent poker face because I didn't see it. By the time we got to round 3, I was like, uh-oh, wait a minute. And I had to do some math. And I said, oh shit, he's properly hydrated. He's properly hydrated. And that was the problem. That was the problem. 88 Sports talking that super chat salute. He said the reason he took that knee is because Roach was in a rhythm and Tank needed a break. That he needed to break that and restart. He never will admit it, but that's my opinion. No, there's merit to what you're saying, 88. There's merit to what you're saying. There's definitely merit to what you're saying. He couldn't disrupt his rhythm by what he was doing in the ring. So he needed a break in the action so he can get his bearings, because I believe he felt something was about to happen to him. And he couldn't dominate him. Now, am I saying that he was dirty in the fight? No, Delano. I'm not saying he was dirty in the fight. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying things are just lining up and it's not looking good. Y'all ever been in a situation in your life where it wasn't what it looked like and you had to really tell, like, your parents, look, I know it looks bad, but it's not what it looks like. Pray for Creasy, salute. Y'all ever had a cop walk up on you and you look around like, oh, I didn't even know this was happening. Yo, I know I'm here, but it's not what it looked like. And you got some explaining to do? I'm not saying I'm not saying he was juiced up in all his fights. I'm just saying when they threw the mic in his face and they asked who was doing the drug testing leading up to the Frank Martin fight, he didn't even know. Delano, he didn't know. Remember? He said, it's not USADA. I was like, well, who's doing the testing, man? He couldn't answer the question. I pointed that out. I said, look, he don't even know who's doing his drug testing. And I left it alone. I ain't going on no Tyson Fury campaign saying, no, he's dirty, he's dirty. I didn't even do that to Tank. I just said, he needs to know who's doing his drug testing. He might want to know. You know why? You know why he might want to know? Because he might end up looking like Ryan Garcia. Ryan don't know what happened, according to him. But we did see an IV in his arm, right? We saw that. Milano says, Drew, there's a difference. Okay, I'm gonna read it how you wrote. Okay. Drew, there is a difference with the S at the end. All right, I'm gonna stop picking on you. I'm just gonna read it. Wait, he says, Drew, there's a difference in being roids and getting an edge, and that's both Tank and Mayweather was doing. Checkmate. They ain't got the nerve to put checkmate, and like he said, pray for Creasy, salute, as if he said so. Wait a minute. Wait. God damn it, wait. Delano, stop. Wait. Wait a minute. Wait, stop. Oh, shit. Wait, stop. Everybody stop. My brother Copper Aborigines, I know Derek Gaines. I'm about to take y'all on a magical journey. I know Stormy is gonna know this. Everybody in the 45 and older crew, y'all know what I'm about to play. Oh Lord. Coach Hudson in the building. You're just in time. Shout out to Delano, bro. All right, come on, man. I got the clown. Okay. Y'all ready?
To a child who doesn't read, the world is a closed book. That's why more than 200 RIF programs help these kids get books for keeps to make them want to read. RIF Incorporated, Box 23444, Washington, D.C.
Ain't that in the DMV?
Whoa! What the it's kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it? Oh, Froggy when he did ride Cambo. Froggy when he did ride Cambo. Froggy when he did ride a sword and a revolver by his side. Cambo killed la 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 la. Flop do yellow but too long. That's the hard part right in there, and then nephew.
Stop.
Cambo killed a la la la. Flop do yellow but too long. Did he come up top bottom it? Cambo. Aliole. And the yodel goes right in there somewhere, but it's a little too high for me.
What? Bro, stop. Please stop. Reading is fundamental. My nigga. And they got the nerve to say checkmate. All right, look. The nigga said the difference. Look at how he spelled difference. That difference that you just put up there doesn't exist. What the fuck? Difference with a CE? He put with the TS. Stop! God damn it! You will not come in here and challenge me. When you type it like this, stop. This is why I say y'all guys need to do more listening than talking. And then when you do talk, your English got the nerve to be all fucked up. Not even talking, you're typing, which means you can proofread what you type. I just said, proofread your shit the best way you can before you click send, please. Because sometimes I can't read this shit. Because I speak it the English. They help me with my homework when I'm stuck. They help me when I'm down and out of luck. They help me with my growing up, and my parents too. They really show things that I can do. Remember that? The Children's Aid Society. Dum, 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 dum. You remember that? Delano, I understand Ebonics, but I speak more proper English than Ebonics. I always have. This is not Ebonics that you're typing, okay? Brother. Let me scroll back up. Where is it? I just lost it. This nigga said it's called Ebonics. Lord of mercy. Look how you spell difference. In no dictionary is that word spelled like that. In no, not even the Ebonics. Yo, listen, man. They help me with my homework when I'm stuck. Looking ass. Bro. Bro. This was your other one. Are saying Tank wasn't. You talk like this? What is the Ebonics? Okay, you couldn't even put it in text lingo. You couldn't put. What is the problem with you putting the letter U between R and saying? Well, that wouldn't make sense. Are you saying Tank wasn't on roids in the Roach fight? No. I'm saying he left the door open to assume that he may or may not have been on whatever ped in the Tank fight because Roach showed no fear. And he wasn't feeling anything. You know what it looked like? It looked like Shane Mosley versus Winky Wright. Everyone thought Shane was gonna go in there and knock his head off. And 3 rounds into that fight, you're like, he can't hurt Winky. That's what it looked like. And then it dawned on you that Winky was the bigger guy. And then the thing happened with Shane and the steroids and Balco and all that stuff. That's what I'm saying. Shane may have been clean in that fight. I don't know. General, salute General. This was the first comment. Now Tank is what? That's not Ebonics, man. That's big thumbs and not proofreading. London MG says Mayweather actually tested positive for PEDs in 2012 and it got swept under the rug. I don't recall, but I'm not gonna call you a liar because anything's possible. Anything's possible. Yeah, Snacks B, Winky versus Trinidad too. Everyone just swore Trinidad was gonna go in there and steamroll him. Nope. Winky said, watch this. And he knocked the S curl off his head. He had an S curl in that fight. It was weird. Let's see what else they got here. That's a throwback. That was a throwback commercial. I remember that. Let's see. What do you got here?
Did you know that there are at least 23 million American adults who can't read a one-ad?
Oh, shit. Hold on. Yeah, we're going to like this. It's funny as hell. Here we go.
Did you know that there are at least 23 million American adults who can't read a one-ad?
Did you know that?
Or a book, or a job application. That's why we have RIF.
RIF is reading is fundamental.
All right. I'm going to stop clowning, man. Boxing, please. Stop it. Stop. Salute the fool-ass Earthman. Salute to you, brother.
You fool-ass Earthman.
Salute. Yes, sir. Sorry, man. Lord have mercy. Okay, all right. Delano, he want to keep typing. Okay. Drew, come on. Oh. See, now I'm nitpicking. All right, I'm going to read this, Delano. Please just let me do the show. He says, Drew, come on, no. This is Ebonics, right? This right here is Ebonics. Now, Delano, you're supposed to leave that K off. Because you meant to say now. Oh, my God. All right, let's read it. Come on, no. Drew, come on, no. There, and that's the wrong there. Do you know that, Delano? That's the wrong there. Do you know that? THEY apostrophe RE. All right? Drew, come on, no, there. Going after brothers who responsible for getting ped check. That's off code, bro.
Stupid butts.
Hold on a second, guys. All right. Can I continue with the show now, man? Now he's talking about I'm off code. This is some classic shit, ain't it? Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Let's run this back.
Did you know that there are at least 23 million American adults who can't read a wanted?
Or a book, or a job application. That's why we have RIF.
RIF is reading is fundamental.
And I'll land that plane right there. Oh. Okay. Now he frustrated. I said Tank in 5 or 6, I don't remember, in the first fight. And Lamont said, all right, watch this. See, now he done said all of this. And he says Tank in 5 in the rematch. Well, okay, let's go ahead with the show. You got Tank in 5. Okay, that's cool. I had Tank in 5 in the first fight. 5 or 6, I forget. And I was wrong. The deal is this here, man. I don't know what happened. Well, Shakur said he knows what happens. Shakur said he knows what happens. All right. He don't like the fight. If you're a Tank fan, you don't like this fight. All right? And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why. You don't like this fight because Tank don't like this fight. Tank wasn't trying to run it back. When he said the person I was fighting next was in my locker room, he wasn't talking about Shakur. He was talking about Jake Paul. Tank didn't even want to run this back. Gerard Harlem in the building. Salute. Donnell Schaefer says Tank in 7. Okay. All right. Cool. That's cool. I'm just saying there's things to consider. When the guy that you root for doesn't really want the rematch, that's a problem. I heard through the grapevine he's screaming about bread. Y'all notice Tank been awfully quiet on. He's been off social media a lot. This is unlike him, and I don't think it's because he's laser focused and he's locked in and he's in the gym hitting the bag and he's growing his beard out. And no. Listen, after Tarver Jones won, I mean, there was no real social media presence then. But Roy Jones went into radio silence too. He didn't talk. He didn't do many interviews. I saw a picture of him. He had his beard all woofed out and hair nappy. I said, oh shit, Roy's in the dungeon now. He about to put the beats on Antonio Tarver. Got dumped on his head in the second round. I ain't see that coming. Nobody did. Hell, I don't even think Antonio saw it. But he landed and it happened. It's boxing. You can ride with your guy. I'm just saying, none of this looks good. But you know what I do say? Didn't you hear me say that we've seen this before? Didn't I tell you that I've seen Tank Davis? When I say I've seen this before, I've seen this situation before. This isn't new. It might be new to y'all. This isn't new to me. Y'all remember when I did the show and I put Tank's picture next to Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield's picture next to Devin Haney? I said, I've seen this shit before. And y'all talking about what this kid will do, but all he had to do was fight Devin. He didn't do it. And then I'm listening to the fans talking about Devin was too big. We was just talking about that. Devin was too big. And all of a sudden, Tank is a 126-pounder. Whoa. All of these things are coming back to kick yourselves in the ass. Y'all remember the Devin was too big conversation in 2023 and 2024? Y'all remember that? It was, to me, it was just yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's too big. What the fuck? Everyone's at 135. What are you talking about? Oh, well, he rehydrates. I said, okay, he rehydrates, but Tank drains everybody. He had to drain Ryan to beat him. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Did I just lie just now? Did he not drain Ryan Garcia? Where's the lie? I'm not lying, man. Did he not put him through rigorous drug testing? But then when they threw the mic in Tank's face before the Frank Martin fight, he didn't even know who was doing his drug testing. That's a problem, y'all. That door was open, and me being on code, I ain't make too big of a deal out of it. I pointed it out, and I said, that's strange, and I got off of it. But all of this shit is real. It's real. It's real. And he got in the ring. He brought up a guy from 130, and y'all made excuses for that. Oh, well, that's his friend. That's his boy. I was like, no. No, I'm not hearing none of that shit. He could have gave Lamont Roach a payday anytime he wanted to. In fact, he could have gave him a payday on his way out of the business. Can I ask y'all a question? Is Tank not a liar? Y'all like calling Bill a liar? Charmaine, what up? Joe Townsend, salute. Is Tank not a liar? Is he a liar? Yes or no? Is he a liar? All of this is coming back. Everything he's done is coming back to kick you in the ass. I wanted him to take Lomachenko out years ago. He didn't do it. He could have did it anytime he wanted to. But the fact that he ducked that man, I was like, oh shit, no way, not this kid. Well, apparently it is. Darnell, in your opinion, you hope you're right. I'm just watching it. Let me reiterate. I picked Tank to knock Roach out. I was upset that he chose him. Friend or not, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Lamont Roach was not supposed to be in the same universe as this guy. I did not see this coming. But then the outcome, and I'm watching the fight, I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? Y'all were like, yo, what is this? But by round, Darnell, real talk, real shit. By round 3, were you not a little confused? By round 5, you had to have been concerned because you're a fan. I was just like, yo, what is happening here? And then I had to reevaluate. I said, oh my God, the conditions. It's not in Tank's favor. Holy crap. These are things that y'all got to consider. I was like, oh shit. And I said, wait, what am I looking at here? And then it dawned on me. No rehydration limit and, no crazy. There was no people in his camp to bust his ribs up. Because this dude really thought it was easy work. Now, suspecting he's on drugs, I didn't say that Tank was on drugs 100%. I'm just saying it looks crazy when they throw the mic in his face and they ask the little boy / Big Ape, who's doing your drug testing, and he says, I don't know. What makes him any different from Ryan Garcia saying, well, I don't know what happened to me? Maybe that's why they embrace. That's why they identify with each other. Maybe that's why. Because they don't know what the fuck's going on. And that's a problem. You see, Floyd knew what was going on 100% of the time. Which is why, Delano, you shouldn't use Floyd as a shield. Because he absolutely rehydrated with an IV after telling Manny Pacquiao he couldn't do it. Am I saying he's on drugs? I said no. I said it was unfair, but I didn't give a shit. Fuck that. I ain't gotta be fair. Not to those racist ass Pacquiao fans. But was it wrong? Yeah. Were they gonna like not fight? No. Manny was desperate. He had to take that fight. He had all kinds of financial shit going on. All right, Delano, I'm going to highlight your comment. Here we go again, y'all. Okay? Now, I'm doing a show. Delano, look. I know your feelings are hurt about Tank. And, I'm just roasting on here. This is what we do on the block. I at least say you're black, all right? With that guy's picture in your avatar, but whatever. I like to say you're black. I'm just clowning. You know what we called it back in the day? We call it snapping. I'm just snapping on you. It's all right. Y'all call it roasting today. That's cool. I'm going to read what you said. You said you guys thought Roach was a sucker, not Tank Crew. So who the joke is on? You. The joke's not on me. I'm not a Tank fan. The joke was on you because you picked Tank to win by knockout. I did. I was upset with the fight. I'm like, why is he doing this? He gonna knock this boy out and they're gonna give him credit for this. And we're gonna be like, well, who's Lamont Roach? And he already lost him. Oh, well, you gave his friend, he gave his brother a payday. No. I'm not hearing none of that. The joke was not on me. The joke was on you. Because you thought that Sunday, because they fought on Saturday, you thought that Sunday you was going to come into me and Stormy B-Man's chat and start talking big shit. And talk about what he's going to do to Devin and what he's going to do to Shakur and he's the greatest. And no, the joke was not on me, Delano. The joke was on you. The joke was on you, 100%. It wasn't on me. I applauded. I said, look at Lamont. Look at Lamont. Look at this. Look at him proving me wrong. How about that? It ain't the first time. I said Shane Mosley might get Winky, man. Mid to late rounds. Those hooks that Shane throw. Nope. I said, look at this. Look at Winky. Oh man, Winky, man. You know what? No, you know what? I did say he was gonna beat Trinidad. I did say that. So the joke is not on me. And guess what? Absolutely, they thought Roach was a sucker. Delano, you don't remember that whole thing was a mess? We didn't have a date at first. Y'all thought y'all was going to Houston and all kinds of weird shit. Y'all remember that? Then the press conference looked like it was sponsored by Temu. It was crazy. It was weird. The whole thing was weird. 7-fight deal worth more money than what Floyd Mayweather made. It was all a bullshit. It was a lie. Now you typing a lot. I asked you. I asked the audience. Is Tank not a liar? Y'all know he is. We've been there before. D'Artagnan 8, salute. Ramel Lane, salute. Angel, what up? Tank has something to prove in this rematch. He really does. Exactly, Angel. Do we even want to get on the 50 million? You don't like Devin, and Devin ain't shit, and he knocks Devin out. Devin. Here come Turkey. Got 50 mil. Come to Saudi. Tank said no. And then months later, he told you why he said no. Oh, I need to get down there. I need to get a knockout because the way Turkey approached me, he made it seem like that Devin was his boy at Baltimore. Well, if you knock Devin out, I mean, none of that matters. If it doesn't go to the judges, none of that matters. Now it's Devin is Turkey's boy, and he's too big. He's a weight bully, and all that shit. You know what we didn't get? The fight. We never got it. And guess what? They ain't never gonna fight. They ain't never gonna fight. If that fight is revisited again, it's gonna be in a situation where Tank needs the money. And let me say this: as much as I dislike this kid's actions and moves, the last thing I want him to do is to be in the ring getting beat up because he needs the bread. If anything, when he walks away from this game, I hope he had the proper guidance where his wealth is working for him. Because the kid does have kids, right? All right. Fuck out of here, man. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, man. There I go being on code, right? So no, Delano. Tank's Corner, Clay King, salute. Tank's Corner, what's his name? I'm having a brain fart this morning, but they interviewed him. I have the video on my phone. I just never made it into a short. But when they asked him, well, what do you want to see Tank do next? You know what he said? I want him to see him fight that Japanese kid, Inui. You know that kid, annoying in the way? That's what I call him, annoying in the way. He wanted to see Tank fight another smaller opponent. That's what he said. The market for that'll be through the roof. But once again, that's Tank fighting someone where he has an advantage. Tank is a southpaw, right? What did Inui get dropped by last weekend? Do you think if Tank lands that left hand, you think Inui's getting up? But that's the fight that they wanted, right? That's the fight he wouldn't mind to see, right? Of course. Of course. Of course. Great. Yeah, Chinue. He loves left hands. Tank knocks him out in one round, man. Fuck out of here. Stop it. But his team wanted that fight. So Devin is too big, but, they announced the Lamont Roach fight. That's great. Can't wait to watch that, and I'm being serious. I want to see what happens. Could Tank win it? Sure. But can Lamont win it? Yes. So root for your guy, but I didn't see any Marine ideology in there. Marines are special because they're trained to think outside the box. That's what I was told. And there was no plan B. I mean, he tried to bite dude. I mean, he did, right? Y'all saw it. He tried to bite him. Y'all remember that? Where's my video? Let me see. Tried to bite him. That's your plan, bro? That was your plan B? Lord have mercy. That was your plan B? There was nothing he could do. You see, when Floyd ran into some trouble, he switched things up. Floyd had a very high ring IQ. Love him or hate him, he was a master in that ring, man. With these new kids, y'all up against it. Y'all start doing shit because y'all want out the fight. Mike Tyson never had a plan B. If he didn't wash you in the first few rounds, all he had was some power, and hopefully he could maintain what he's doing to get the 12 rounds. And when his opponents had a plan B, he starts fouling and shit. Headbutts, elbows, and biting Evander Holyfield. I've seen Tank before. Quick question. Y'all trust the guy that says things like this? Y'all trust him to continue his career? Remember that 7-fight deal he had with all that money? Y'all trust him talking like this?
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
This summer, Tank Davis is Blackula 2. The latest vampire in boxing. More brutal than Berlangula. More terrifying than Tyson's teeth. More grimy than Galata's mouth. You can run. There's no escape. He will glamour you. He will hypnotize you. You will feel uncomfortable. Blackula 2. He will do what he wants to do. DWDW. Move! Guys, stop. So Devin's too big, and but he's not bigger. Devin's too big, but he wants to fight a Nui, and he loses to a 130-pounder, right? He loses to a 130-pounder, right? And then we find out that he was setting up a fight with this guy Jake Paul, who's basically my weight. What the? What? Can you make that make sense? Let's start there. Who's cool with the Jake Paul fight? Be honest. Okay, let's highlight what Delano says. He says, what's wrong with what said, Drew? I'm reading it how it's written. What's wrong with what said, Drew? Wilder told us the same thing. Okay, he's bringing up Deontay now. That's really great. That he lost his edge for some reason. Oh, you're talking about the video that I played of him saying, yeah, Your man said he don't want to fight no more. He said he wants therapy. When he starts talking like that, it's time to walk away. It's time to walk away. You don't say that shit out loud when you allegedly signed a 7-fight deal. Word on the street is this dude wasn't answering his phone because he wanted more bread to fight Lamont fucking Roach. I want you guys to remember the word. A lot of y'all are young. When Evander Holyfield signed to fight Mike Tyson, everybody around my way told me that Evander was not only going to lose that fight, but he was going to die in the ring because he had some sort of heart problem at that time. And he was on the 700 Club. Y'all remember the 700 Club, that super Christian congregation used to be on TV? And he was on there praying and looking crazy. And I said, yeah, y'all laughing. I said, he going to whoop Mike's ass. Everybody told me, no, he going to get punched in the chest and he going to die. And I'm like, nope, he going to whoop Mike's ass. I've been telling y'all since 1987 that this dude, when Evander had a flat top fighting at cruiserweight, he specifically said, I'm going to heavyweight. They said, why are you going to heavyweight, Evander? He said, I want to fight Mike Tyson. They laughed at him right there on national TV. I wish I could find the clip. It's not on YouTube. They said, what? He said, yeah, I could beat him. Okay, Evander Holyfield, ladies and gentlemen. Get the camera on this guy, man. What? Nope. I said no. He'll fuck Mike up. Y'all just don't know boxing. Okay. It took some time, but they actually fought, and what happened? He beat the shit out of him. I've seen this before. Why y'all think that Tank was this unstoppable? No, man. I've seen this shit before. Wilder had injuries. Wilder had a lot of personal shit going on, but at no point did he say he wanted to hang it up. And if he said it, he ain't say it for us to hear it. Did you read the article? Did you watch my video, Delano? When during the interview, he said he had 2 shoulder injuries, he had all kinds of injuries, and I mean, fuck. He was dealing with this thing with Telly. It was ridiculous. And he's still trying to continue with his career. Tank had baby mama drama. That lying-ass bitch tried to get him killed. I reported on that. Did you see my videos on that? Okay. I don't recall him having any injuries that he mentioned. I don't recall. Let me know. Enlighten me. His shit is mental. You know how I know it's mental? Lamont was seeing him in the ring, and he took a fucking knee. And instead of his audience saying, no, Tank, that shit was bullshit. Y'all ran around the internet saying, no, it was legal. Y'all ran around and threatened the girl from the Bronx that said, why you put that in his hair? Because he said, I got grease and shit. She had to put the ingredients of what she put in his hair online. It said no alcohol, no grease. What the fuck? Some of the greatest Jerry curls in the world were worn by our black athletes. Tommy Hearns, Tony Tubbs. These dudes had the Jerry curls of life. Matter of fact, didn't Nigel Benn had like a super perm, a super greasy perm in the UK? Had all kinds of shit going in their eyes. Not one time did they take a fucking knee and say, oh, I got this Jerry curl juice in my eye. No. He in the corner screaming, no, you gotta listen to me. I said, I don't know what's going on, but it don't look good. Because Lamont was whooping his ass. He gonna take a knee. That shit was wild. True Boxing Night in that super chat, much love. He said, Truth, do you think Tank did all that retirement talk because he really was retiring before fighting any of the dangerous fighters like Dev, Shakur, etc.? Yeah, I think so. And a Jake Paul fight, Black Martial Arts Society salute. A Jake Paul fight, man, that's an easy $100 million for him. He ain't got to do shit after that. And he was going, had he had gotten the nod against Lamont Roach, there'd have been no reason for him to revisit that fight. He'd have fought Jake Paul, and I personally believe after the Jake Paul fight, he's going to retire. So let me ask y'all a question. He fights Lamont Roach and loses. Does Jake Paul still fight him? Here we go. What's an old Mike Tyson, Delano? Tell me what an old Mike Tyson is. And storm me in the chat, because we talk about this shit all the time, man. You see this? I love this. He fought an old Mike Tyson. Fought an old Mike Tyson. What's an old Mike Tyson? And salute to Joe in that Cash App. Much love and appreciation, man. He said you're a fool for that one. Yeah, salute to you, good brother. Thank you so much, Joe. I don't want to say your government on here. I appreciate that. And salute to Stephen Thornton in that Cash App from, oh man, Wednesday. I'm sorry. I missed your Cash App, man. Salute to you, good brother. Thank you so much. What's an old Mike Tyson, man? How old is Evander Holyfield? How old is Mike Tyson? Let's do the age thing. I remember when people was trying to say, oh man, Floyd's trying to age Manny Pacquiao out. Huh? Floyd's older than Manny Pacquiao. What are we doing? What are you doing? Delano, Mike Tyson was in prison. While Mike Tyson was in prison, look up what Evander Holyfield was doing. And had a heart murmur on top of that. Look at the fights that he had. I covered this. Evander's in there fighting Riddick Bowe like 3 times. Fighting Lennox Lewis twice. Fighting Ray Mercer. Look at the record when Mike went away in jail, not fighting. Well preserved. He didn't balloon up to 400 pounds. In fact, when Mike got out of prison, he was in the best shape Mike had a 6-pack when he came out of prison. He was in phenomenal shape. Word, Evander in there, going bald, fighting George Foreman. Talking about, I just saw an interview. He said, I thought he punched my teeth out. And no, Evander didn't win all of those fights. He got hurt several times in those fights. So what's an old Mike Tyson? How about an old Evander Holyfield that was getting the shit kicked out of him? Putting in work. He was supposed to be food for Mike, and all my people were saying that Evander's gonna die in the ring. I said, all right, y'all gonna see. And who had the last laugh? Speaking of last laughs, Lano, who had the last laugh? I told this story a dozen times. Todd, what up, Todd? Now, historically, I've seen shit like this. The fighter has a huge fan base, and they want him to win, but that win turns into this crazy belief that he's going to do something that he didn't do in the first fight. What was wrong with Roy Jones in the second fight? The first fight, I was of the belief that he lost too much weight. He wasn't fat. He came down from heavyweight to light heavyweight to make 175, and he was too physically tired to fight Antonio Tarver, which is why his back was on the ropes, and Antonio was teeing off on him. In my opinion, I still think Roy won that first fight but Antonio Tarver won the drama of the fight. A lot of those punches that Antonio Tarver was throwing was getting picked off, but we've never seen Roy at that time in such a vulnerable position. So he won the drama of the fight. I said, well, we'll see in the rematch. The rematch, the first round, Roy won that first round relatively easy. He won it relatively easy. Second round, we saw what happened. I was like, oh shit. The third fight, clearly Antonio Tarver washed him. Delano, you don't know what you're talking about. What you mean he was in jail for 2 years? He was never the same. What do you mean? You see, this is why, you know, most people don't know. You know what? I gotta get the Roger Mayweather soundbite now, because most people don't know shit about boxing. What do you mean he was never the same? I just said he came out of prison in phenomenal shape. For 2 years, look at what Evander Holyfield did, and what did Mike do? He was well preserved. He started rolling with the Nation of Islam. He wasn't taking no damage. Evander Holyfield was taking damage. Bo knocked him out. And it's George Foreman going upside his head. Fought Ray Mercer, fought Lennox Lewis 2 times. Mike was well preserved in jail, no damage. When Mike got out of prison, he ain't fight David Tua. He ain't fight Chris Bird. He ain't fight Ike Ibeabuchi. Who'd he give you? Who'd he give you? Look it up. Peter McNeely? And no shade to him. But Peter McNeely, I understand warm-ups. He knocked him out. I understand warm-ups. But after that, then what? Gave him some warm-ups and then gave him Evander Holyfield with the heart murmur and 2 years worth of damage. And styles make fights. And he beat Mike's ass. Mike didn't get in there and get washed in the first 2 rounds. No. Mike tried to kill him. I bet y'all didn't know Evander Holyfield had David Tua in his camp training for Mike Tyson, right? Y'all didn't know that. Get out of here, man. What do you mean everyone knows that? You know who said that? Not everyone knows that. You know who said that? A bunch of Mike Tyson dick riders. They were around back then. When Buster Douglas knocked his ass out, what did we hear? Oh, it was a long count. Oh, he was in Japan fucking. So? You know what I said? And I still say to this day. Why he ain't running back with Buster Douglas? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, this is the smartest thing you said all morning. He says, no, Tarver had his number. Like Roach might have Tanks. Now, this is the smartest thing he said on twofold. What he said here makes sense, but you still pick a Tank by knockout, right? Okay, cool. So what he said here makes sense, and he also spelled everything correctly. Okay. We're going to see. He could knock Roach out. But you know what's good? We have to see the fight. Was it a fluke? I don't think so, but we're going to find out. Harvey, salute. Now you talking about Michael Vick. Damn, you was doing so well, Delano. Stop, bro. Stop. All right, at this point, you just stop. Just stop. His timing was not off. Evander just had his number. That's it. And I've been saying that since like 87, 88, that he had Mike Tyson's number. I've been said that. I've been said that. His timing was not off. Evander just fucked him up. Period. Do I need to go down a list of heavyweights that he didn't fight? I just gave you some names. And by the time he got to Lennox Lewis, then what? Here's what y'all might not realize. At no point in history could Mike Tyson have beaten Lennox Lewis at all. A bit of Mike Tyson's legacy was a scam. When I say scam, I mean it was marketing, which was brilliant for its time. It was matchmaking, which was exceptionally brilliant for its time. But when you put him in there with somebody real, you saw what happened. And am I saying Mike was trash? No, I'm not saying that. But if you talk to Mike Tyson and you say some of these names that were around, You might be amazed at what you hear. Simple things. Why he never fought Ray Mercer? Now, the sexy thing to say is he'd have knocked Ray Mercer out. I don't think so. Why didn't he fight Tommy Morrison? Really think about it. Would he have knocked Tommy Morrison out? I don't know. Tommy Morrison was 6'4", 6'5", had a great left hook, and he was tough. He was tough. Would he have won? I don't know, but he was there. What about Ike Ibeabuchi? When Mike came out of prison, I think, did he get locked up before? I don't remember. But David Tua was there. Chris Bird wasn't even real heavyweight, but he was there. What's happening here? You tell me. I was there for this. I asked those questions. My friends who are boxing casuals, oh no, Mike beats him, Mike beats him. I said, he beats Ray Mercer? He might, but how about this? How about this? Why aren't we seeing it? Why aren't we seeing it? You're telling me he beats him. And they laughing and joking. Yeah, no, come on, man. Oh, Drew, come on, man. Yo, man, he beats him. Oh, come on, Ray Mercer, come on. Man, didn't he be in the Holyfield? Knock him down, I'm like, yo, listen, y'all don't understand styles make fights. Y'all don't get, okay. All right, but Mike beats everybody, but he ain't fighting everybody. I've been saying this for years. Mike beats everybody, but he ain't fight everybody. And now here we are decades later, and some of these niggas will still tell me, no, he'd have beat him. He'd have beat him. No, y'all niggas told me he was going to beat Evander Holyfield too. And then when Evander whooped his ass, all of a sudden it's, oh, well, Mike was in prison. Evander for 2 years was getting his head knocked off. Fighting real competition. Mike gets out of prison with a six-pack. He gives you Peter McNeely and the white Buffalo, salute to him. Friend to the strong house. And then when he fought somebody real, he folded. Then he fought Lennox Lewis. He folded. And then what did they say? Oh, it was the prison stint. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm not hearing that. We've seen Tank Davis before. Tank is surrounded by nothing but contemporaries, and nobody even considered Lamont Roach, got in there and laid a fucking egg, and he couldn't even adjust to what was happening in the ring. He blamed hair grease. And after telling us for a year and a half, him and his fans, that Devin Haney was too motherfucking big, he's gonna fight Jake Paul. And the advantage is he's a real boxer and Jake Paul is not. But Jake Paul is naturally a heavyweight. Why is this fight happening? He's going to give you Jake Paul instead of Shakur. He's going to give you Jake Paul instead of Devin. And Jake Paul instead of Teofimo. And Jake Paul, it wants a Ryan Garcia rematch. Well, I want him to freeze out those two dumbasses anyway. Ryan and Teo. Fuck them. And y'all know why. Yeah, G. McCall, you're right. Frank Bruno. But you know what? Nobody makes excuses for Frank Bruno. They give Mike full credit for that. But everyone knows that he had mental issues. But no one gives excuses for Frank Bruno. But I digress. Darius, what up? You guys need to stop. So when I say I've seen Tank Davis before, I've been exactly here before. Y'all talking about what he can do and what he would do, what he gonna do, and I'm looking at contemporary after contemporary. He ain't do shit. And then he gets in the ring with Lamont Roach, who wasn't even on the radar, and look what happened. And now y'all saying he's gonna knock him out in a rematch? I gotta remind y'all, historically, this shit normally doesn't work out. It could. It's boxing. Tank could go in there and flatline Lamont in one round. I just don't see it happening. There was nothing in the first fight that I saw that I could say, you know what, if Tank has a round like this, in the next fight, he can get him. I didn't see that at all. I didn't see it at all. Now he not talking. Now he asking for more money. Now I heard he not answering the phone. What the fuck is this? But we got the rematch, right? Now we're going to see. Tank was Tank. He just couldn't deal with this dude. And what did Lamont tell Andre Ward? Yo, he was just too small. I said, there it is. There it is right there. There it is right there. No weight clause, no rehydration. If there's a rehydration clause on this shit, you know what's going on. You know what's going on, right? You writers, you know what's going on, right? Y'all niggas wanted Devin Haney to go all the way up and fight fucking David Benavidez. I read it. I read it right here on my show. In order for Devin to reach the epitome of being a star, he has to fight Bud Crawford, David Benavidez, Canelo, Tank. They had him in there with fucking Andre the Giant. Fight Andre the Giant's tombstone and shit. I mean, come on. Fight his corpse and shit. I'm like, damn. Tank ain't got to do shit. He's already a rock star, right? But I'm looking at the resume, and the shit don't match. And like I said, the word on the block is this dude is fighting Jake Paul in November. Listen, Tank fans, y'all not changing. But in the event he beats Lamont Roach, because if he don't beat Lamont Roach, I don't think he's fighting Jake Paul. But in the event he beats Lamont Roach, fine. If you're cool with this Jake Paul fight, that's also fine. But after that, I need Tank to retire with all his hundreds of millions of dollars and go away. And he need to take y'all dumbasses with him. Just go away. That's all I'm saying. You fight Jake Paul, cool. Get your bread. Retire after that and take your punk ass fans with you. Because I'm still going to be here talking boxing. You served your purpose. You made your money. And by the way, Tank fans, he don't even like you. You don't see me in the street. Don't even say nothing to me. Baltimore. That's what he said. That's what he said. So it is what it is. We cool. Get your money, Tank. But as a competitor, I'm not taking you serious until you do something serious. And all I wanted is, when the fuck did I become the bad guy for asking this kid to do his what? His job. Fight your contemporaries. You think you're better than Devin? Cool, fight him. You might be. I don't know. Let's see. But the more he put up resistance towards that fight, the more it told me, I said, man, Devin will beat his ass. And I already heard about the sparring session. I didn't even bring it up. The world brought it up. A fake video and then the real video after this nigga fell out with his uncle, Floyd Mayweather. His fans went from laughing to being real quiet. Y'all living through this phony legend of this dude. And it's okay. Because what do I say here? Time reveals all truth. And a lie is nothing but the long way to the truth. And I'm going to tell you something. He could beat Lamont Roach. But if he doesn't, and that's a whole nother live stream. If he doesn't, what does he do? That's a whole nother live stream. If he loses to Lamont, how does that help Jake Paul? Jake Paul ain't fighting him. He damn sure ain't gonna fight Lamont Roach. If Tank loses to Lamont, what's his next move? That's a conversation to have because I want to hear what y'all have to say. I'll open up the panel to that. If he loses to Lamont, if Lamont loses, it's expected. It's still expected. The odds are going to be a little more even, but I still think Lamont will be the underdog. But if he loses, especially if Tank has a highlight reel knockout, everyone's going to say, that's the Tank. Yeah, that's what he was supposed to do. But remember, Tarver Jones, they were like, yo, man, that's not Roy. Roy's tired, man. Watch, we're going to get the real Roy. Now he's properly hydrated and da-da-da-da-da. Second round, slept. Oh, shit. We've seen this before. Oh, Evander Holyfield's going to have a heart attack. Ha, ha, ha. Knocks Mike out. Oh, no. Mike, ring rust. Oh, he in prison. Oh, he going to get him in a rematch. Ha, ha, ha. Mike wanted out that fight so bad, he bit his fucking ear off. Tank in there with Lamont Roach. He turns into Blackula 2. I'm sorry, Blackula 2, T-E-W. He bit him. It's not alleged. Lamont said it. I missed it when it happened. Lamont said, yo, he bit him. I looked, I said, oh shit. We've seen this before. You ain't gotta like it. You ain't gotta take my word for it. So I asked the question this morning. Tank versus Paul. Is it really happening? I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Better than that! When I open up that panel, I'm gonna do it when we get closer to the fight. If Tank loses, what does he do? You can give me what you want to see him do. You can also tell me what makes sense logically. Because normally what people want this dude to do is ridiculous. Give me what you want to see him do and what's more logical. If he loses to Lamont Roach, does he pack it up? Does he continue his career? And who does he continue his career with? I bet that Saudi money is looking really good right now. Why is he fighting Jake Paul? Whatever, man. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, Super Chat.
Monkey!
Do I like Tank fans hanging around? The fanatics? Absolutely not. No! But the cool part is when he decides to hang it up and disappear, y'all gonna go with him, and that's just fine. Because I'm here talking boxing. Pep Talk tonight, I'm gonna give my opinion about Cassie and her husband and Diddy, and ladies, why your past absolutely matters. It absolutely matters. Y'all there's full-blown panels of women talking about, my past don't matter, but my past don't matter. Meanwhile, you have a BBL for what? What was you doing that whole time? What do you do for a living? You know what they say? I'm an influencer. That's a fancy name for a stripper. You walk around on Instagram and TikTok with your ass hanging out. And every video nets you dividends. You don't have no real skill, all right? You didn't go to school, or even if you went to school, the money came faster by you shaking what your mama gave you. She get it from her mama. But then y'all want respect and y'all want men that make a certain amount of money. And meanwhile, a man says, hey man, what's up with your past? What you used to do? That doesn't matter. Well, shout out to Cassie. Shout out to Cassie. She's up 20 mil. But what's the cost? Pep Talk tonight. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, the Super Chat. I think the General's on. Let's head over there. And y'all have a good weekend.
Okay, have a crappy weekend. Hope your house burns down.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.